It's 10 o'clock, and you are watching KCCI, Channel 8, Des Moines. This is News Channel 8.
Experienced firefighters who think they've seen it all admit they haven't seen anything like this. And tonight, the Investigate team puts smoke detectors to the test. Good evening. Thanks for joining us this Friday night. I'm Kevin Cooney.
And I'm Jeanette Trumpeter. The difference between life or death in a house fire could be a matter of seconds.
So that's why you might be surprised when you see the difference that we found in different types of smoke detectors. Investigate team Jeff Greenwood joins us now after putting the smoke detectors to the test. Jeff?
Kevin and Jeanette, a house fire is one way you don't want to test your smoke detector. So we set our own fires in a controlled setting. Though maybe not scientific, it's a powerful demonstration we and the firefighters with us won't soon forget. So you have a smoke detector. That's important, but what kind is it? There are three types out there. Ionization is the most popular detector, and it's good for the most common type of fire, fast flaming fires. Photoelectric is best for smoldering, smoky fires. And there are dual detectors. They combine both types of sensors.
It's as close to real-life conditions as you can get.
With the help of the West Des Moines Fire Department, we'll put all three types of smoke detectors to the test in a concrete building designed for training fires. First, a fire you might find in your kitchen. We put shortening into an electric frying pan and crank it up on high. Once it's good and hot, we set it on fire, and we time the alarms on all three smoke detectors. It takes less than a minute for the dual detector to go off first. We can only speculate that the smoke triggered the dual alarm's ionization sensor. Remember, the ionization sensor is best for this type of fire. Then, a short 8 seconds later, the ionization detector goes off. And 6 seconds after that, the photoelectric detector sounds. But the truly dramatic difference comes next in a smoldering couch fire. A hot soldering iron smolders like a burning cigarette. With the help of the Sailor Township Fire Department, its high-tech heat sensor shows the couch gets plenty hot long before you can see it. The dark spot shows heat. Quickly, the smoke starts rising. Within minutes, a steady stream of smoke starts building below the ceiling. The toxic cloud gets thicker and thicker. By now, firefighters put on their oxygen masks. Moments later, the room starts filling with smoke. 14 minutes after we start the soldering iron, we get our first warning from the photoelectric detector. Just under 2 minutes after that, the dual detector goes off. We don't know which sensor triggers the dual detector's alarm. Now we wait for the ionization detector, and wait, and wait. In fact, while we're waiting, one firefighter asks me twice if the detector is even working. Eventually, we get our answer.
The ionization detector is now going off. It's 9 minutes and 17 seconds after the first smoke detector went off, and that was a photoelectric.
That's about 23 minutes after we turned on the soldering iron. And well before the ionization detector went off, there was a choking and possibly deadly cloud of thick black smoke. The firefighters without oxygen masks had to leave the room long before the ionization detector went off.
What do you think?
I think I'd want the photoelectric or the dual one outside my bedroom if I was going to have a fire.
Why?
Because it's going to go off quick.
What kind of a difference can that make?
Life or death, basically.
I think they do a lot of good. I think it may be time for UL to look at the standards they have and perhaps adjust those standards so we do provide assurance that the detectors, if they need to function more quickly than what they are, that's taken care of.
Would you be concerned about a delay like that?
Yeah, I'd be concerned. But I'd also make sure that there's a smoke detector on outside every bedroom and at least on every floor.
And that's what's so important here. Even if you have an ionization detector, which in some case works faster, you saw that in that kitchen fire, your survival chances in a fire are much, much higher. Now, you might think about adding a photoelectric detector, or best yet, replace it with a dual detector.
Boy, some life-saving knowledge, theoretically, Jeff, but you've heard people talk about taking their batteries out because their oven sets it off all the time. What do you suggest to them?
That's a big problem. Lots of people have been asking me about that. You probably have an ionization detector and you want to maybe consider switching to a photoelectric detector. That may help that out. Or you can move that detector back from the oven.
All right, good ideas.
Change those batteries and change the detector every 10 years.
Keep them working. All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, you'll find important information about smoke detectors on our website. Just log on to kcci.com and click on the special report link.
In other news tonight, there is more information coming out about the crash of Alaska Air Flight 261 earlier this week. Investigators say the cockpit voice recorder now reveals two loud noises before the plane went down. The first noise comes just before a flight attendant reports hearing something at the back of the plane. Then, a short time later, actually about a minute before the tape ends and the plane crashes, another loud noise and the plane goes out of control. NTSB officials say at this time they can only speculate as to the source of those noises.
The Pleasantville High School football coach accused of sexual harassment has lost his teaching license. John Danks has been teaching and coaching football for 30 years, but a state licensing board's decision today means he won't be doing either for at least the next 3 years. The board suspended Danks' license after two female students claimed he sexually harassed them.
Well, a lot of folks have always wanted to be teachers. School districts across the state are having trouble finding substitutes these days.
So education experts have come up with a plan to fill the need. News Channel 8 Sheila Brummer joins us with the story. And what are people saying about this proposal, Sheila?
Well, opinions are mixed. School districts with a shortage want it, but teachers' unions worry it will lower the quality of education. Today, the State Board of Educational Examiners released a plan to allow people without teaching certificates to fill in for teachers. The board isn't calling the fill-in substitutes, but say they are classroom monitors. For people to qualify, all they need is a bachelor's degree. They have to have 50 hours of training and a background check. The monitors are only allowed to spend 5 straight days in the same classroom.
Parents don't want their children taught by people who could do them some harm and not know anything about teaching. You can't teach what you don't know.
A series of public meetings will be held to give parents, students, and teachers a chance to give their opinions. The Board of Educational Examiners is expected to make a final decision on the plan within the next few months.
All right, we're going to be hearing more about it, I think. Thank you, Sheila.
I want to be hearing more about this warming trend that's supposedly coming up this weekend. So let's go to meteorologist John McLaughlin in the Weather Center for the details.
Yeah, supposedly it is going to get warmer, and we're hoping that works out for tomorrow. Tonight, though, clouds over the metro area, but as we move through the overnight hours, we'll see temperatures falling down into the mid-teens, but we do expect sunshine by tomorrow morning, and that will push temperatures to near 40 degrees and similar temps in store for Sunday.
All right, sounds like good news to me. Thank you, John.
Well, some of baseball's biggest names are right here in Des Moines tonight, and quite a few littler names showed up to chat with their heroes. We'll take you to Fan Fest coming up.
And keep it right here for more sports. The best basketball highlights in town. A ton of Friday night hoops is straight ahead.
I love baseball.
Well, hundreds of baseball fans are flocking to the Embassy Suites in downtown Des Moines.
That's because Fan Fest 2000 is going on there. News Channel 8's Aaron Moody tonight takes us inside.
Baseball. Just a fan of the game.
For Wade Van Vark, it's that simple. And all of these people have been in line for more than an hour to see a legend.
When you get a player like George Brett to come to town, you have to take that opportunity to see him.
I think he's nuts.
Royal standout George Brett is just one of several All-Stars who's making an appearance here.
All I need is your autograph now. Then you got it. We'll do it right now. How's that?
There are some young fans who can't wait to see George Brett, but
I decided that line's too big. I want to go play some games while I'm waiting.
Jordan Gusky is one smart kid. Why stand in line when you can throw a few pitches, take your turn in the batting cage, even golf? Once you get inside, you can take your turn at Fantasy Play-by-Play or check out the McFarland collection. See some of the home run baseballs hit by McGuire and Sosa. And, of course, make your way to George Brett.
Bullpen will be good.
At FanFest, not only can you come and meet the legends of baseball, you can also play against them. You can take pitches from Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, and Hideo Nomo. And by the way, I did hit one.
The very first pitch, I think she's a first ball fastball hitter, so she got the first one. After that, it was a little downhill.
I did hit one. I did. Proof.
Aaron Moody, News Channel 8.
Just didn't get a picture of it.
Yeah, Aaron.
Well, you can catch Fan Fest 2000 for yourself at the Embassy Suites throughout the weekend, tomorrow from 10 to 7, and Sunday from 10 to 4.
Well, Ragbri riders, listen up. We have the early scoop on the route. This year's great bike ride across Iowa will begin in Council Bluffs. The 28th Ragbri begins July 23rd. The complete route will be released later this month, but we do know one of the overnight stops will be in Ankeny. So make those hotel reservations now.
It's going to be close. John?
Yes?
What's the forecast for Ragbri this year?
Well, it's going to be fantastic. A few scattered thunderstorms, temperatures in the mid-80s.
And the wind will always be at their back.
That's right. We'll talk about the forecast a little more near-term after this.
Meteorologist John McLaughlin has been named the National Weather Association's Member of the Year.
Clouds still over the Des Moines area, clearing skies starting to finally work into northern Iowa. 25 right now with clouds, winds northwesterly at 9. Wind chill at just 11 degrees. Dew point temperature at 18. That'll be dropping off into the low teens overnight. 74% humidity and the pressure steady at 30.43. Look at temperatures right now down to 18 in Mason City, 24 in the Waterloo area, 27 in Ottumwa. Here in central Iowa, Clarion at 21, Ames still cloudy, 23, and clouds over Boone at 27. High today, 31, 22 early this morning. Satellite picture, you can see some erosion of the clouds starting to move into northwestern Iowa, clear now across much of eastern Nebraska, and clouds already advancing ahead of the next weather system. Those clouds will be moving in here on Sunday. It looks like most of Saturday will be in pretty good shape with sunshine and warmer temperatures. Tonight, winds will be out of the northwest, but as we head into tomorrow afternoon, the high gets way to the south, and you can see the winds are starting to move in out of the southwest to west. That'll be a warm-up, but then a front moves through for Sunday, so it'll cool it off a few degrees, but we should stay dry on Sunday as well, with maybe a chance for precip very late in the day and on into Monday. 14 tonight, partly cloudy skies. As we head into tomorrow, we'll be dealing with sunshine, mild weather, 40. Of course, it is National Weather Person's Day, so go hug your weather person tomorrow. 23 for tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, and as we head on into Sunday, it's going to be mostly cloudy, temperatures near 37. Here's a look at the extended forecast as we head on into early next week. Temperatures remaining above normal for this time of the year. 36 Monday, near 40 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and a chance for light precipitation both Monday and Wednesday. But again, the key word is light. No major storms, at least at this point.
National Weather Person's Day, huh?
We need to find out who started that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was here.
I think he's got a 30% chance of getting a gift. What do you think?
Probably less than that. Isolated.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Time now to check out a little bit about what you'll see in tomorrow's Des Moines Register. Something we mentioned earlier. The Register is going to have much more on this year's Ragbri route. And if you think gasoline prices are high now, wait till you see what could be in store next month.
And look in Iowa Life for a jam-packed TV schedule for February, of ratings month.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Coming up next, the 5th-ranked Ames Little Cyclone girls hoping for another victory tonight.
As are a lot of other area high school teams. Stay tuned for Friday Night Hoops coming up next.
Hawaiian shirt night over at Roosevelt tonight, and they were taking it a little literally, I think.
Shirtless night. Was Alex Cooney one of them?
No, he was not.
I was going to say, was that Alex Cooney behind the bananas there?
But he had his Hawaiian shirt on.
Okay.
Way to go, Alex.
They're wacky over at Roosevelt, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ames captured the National Conference crown in girls basketball tonight. The Little Cyclones hosting the bottom team in the conference, Mason City. This is our highlight game at 6. Ames high, Ames high. That's a punt, folks. High-scoring Kylan Loney of the Clones misses, but follows the shot in the lane and hits from the extra effort, and it's Ames by 5. Then Loney on the break. The dish to Lori Bennett for the lay-in, a 7-point lead for the Little Cyclones. And the Clones hitting from the outside, too. This is Amy Bappy. And Ames improves to 18-1 on the year, 52-32 over the Mohawks. Johnson is right behind Ames in the National Conference. I'm getting votes in the 4A Top 20 tonight. The Dragons hosted Ankeny. First quarter, Johnston's Lindsay Sleep will dish to Carrie Boskeljohn, who misses but puts it right back up and in. The Dragons by 4. Later, Sleep wide awake on the break to Sarah Keister for the layup. At the end of the first quarter, the Dragons led by 6, and they win it 51-36. A #1 doubleheader at the Roosevelt Gym. Both Dowling teams are top-rated in the state. As for the girls, a roll over the Riders. The Maroons with Captain Jenny Lillis taking the floor. And Dowling will feed it to Sunny Giudice. Sunny hands the jumper, and it's a 6-point lead for Dowling. Later in the first half, the Maroons moving the ball down court. Lillis will bank it down low. That doubled up Dowling's lead. An easy win for the Dowling girls tonight. They go to 18-1 as well with the 55-20 victory over Roosevelt. Hoover traveled to East tonight to try and climb out of the cellar of the American Conference. The Huskies with just one conference win so far. Hoover boys watching the girls play. Early in the game, ball moving quickly to East Jackie Beener, and Beener makes it a 5-point lead for the Scarlets with the jumper. Then it's Hoover. Katie Newman knocking down a triple to give the Huskies a 9-point lead. Close one in this one, and East wins it by just 2 points, the final 53-51. Also in the Central Iowa Metro League, number 7 Lincoln 61, Ottumwa 37. Southeast Polk rolls over Indianola. It was Urbandale big over Newton. Valley 55, Marshalltown 42, and Fort Dodge by 21 over North. It was a Cubs-Comets twin bill in Nevada tonight. Let's check out the girls' game first. Dudes, those things are for shouting, not listening. End of the second quarter, North Polk with it. Renee Thompson to Kim Holmes in the lane for 2. The Comets down by 1. On to late in the game, Nevada's Lindsay Olson with it. Make that Lindy Olson. Olson gets it half court and takes it all the way in for the layup. 42-29 Cubs, and Nevada wins it 45-31. For the boys, the 5th-ranked Comets lose for the first time this season. The Cubs take the court right here. North Polk coming up with the ball. Chris Bieber will turn and hit off the inbound pass. Then it's Nevada's Justin Evans answering. Evans with the quick hands, and he'll go the length of the court to tie it. A tight one throughout as the Cubs win in an upset, 48-46. Back to the Roosevelt Gym in Central Iowa Metro League action, where top-rated Dowling made it a sweep over the Riders. Those Rider fans are crazy, aren't they? Roosevelt turns it over. Dustin Rand will eventually get it for the Maroons. Rand with the layup, and it's a double-digit advantage. More Maroons for you. Iowa State-bound Tyson Smith bringing it. He'll lose control, but Brian Seidel finds it, scores, and gets fouled. Number 1 Dowling all over Roosevelt tonight, 55-37. Number 5 Urbandale rebounded from its loss to Johnston Tuesday with a big win over Newton. The game at the Jayhawks gym, some coaching by the fans. The Jayhawks with it, and the inbound play, working it to Tyler McKinney, and Tyler bombs into 3. The Cards with it at the other end. Damian Walton with the 3 for Newton. But it was a long night for the Cardinals tonight. The final in this one, number 5 Urbandale 59, Newton 30. Meanwhile, 8th-rated Johnston following up that win over Urbandale with a game at sometimes dangerous Ankeny. Hot spot in Ankeny tonight. Watch out for that cheese. Annie Farmer of the Hawks collects the loose ball and pops in the J. But Johnston well in command. Kyle Mertz leading the charge for the Dragons. To Jonathan Hardy, Dragons all over Ankeny tonight. The final, 68-36. Completing the Central Iowa Metro League scoreboard, no report on Hoover and East. In overtime, Mason City beat Ames. It was Valley by 2 over Marshalltown. Lincoln by just 1 over Ottumwa. North 54, Fort Dodge 48. And Southeast Polk topped Indianola 75-63. Time now for the Friday Night Hoops roll. We start our scores with the boys. And a win for Pella Christian over Knoxville. And make sure you tune in to late night, too. We'll squeeze the scores back a couple of times. Let's try a look at that roll again, shall we? Okay. And on to hockey. After a series of disappointments on the ice, the Des Moines Buccaneers looking for better things tonight against Thunder Bay. Fans out in full force at the Metro Ice Sports Arena. Bucks up 2-1 in the second, and they get another one here. Alex Kim to Rob Novak. Novak with a couple of goals tonight. Des Moines poured it on in a must-win situation. The championship hope for the final. Look at this, 9-1 Des Moines. They were able to finish the first round of play today in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Keep your fingers crossed for the weekend. Tiger Woods going for a record 6th straight tournament win is, of course, in the hunt. Woods would fire a 4 under par 68. He is currently 2 strokes behind the leaders. There are 3 of them, DJ Singh, David Duval, and Nota Begay. Weather permitting, coverage will begin at 2 o'clock tomorrow here on Channel 8. And highlights from today can be seen just after midnight. A couple of powerhouses in collegiate wrestling in Iowa City tonight, the Iowa Hawkeyes and Oklahoma State. There's Iowa coach Jim Zaleski. At heavyweight, Iowa's Wes Hand versus Pat Paluzio. And give Wes a hand for the 5-point move. The technical fall. Hand wins by a major decision. At 133 pounds, number 1 Eric Juergens of Iowa versus Charles Walker. A takedown for Juergens for 2 points, and he'll need him as Juergens wins the close one, 5-2, the final. Iowa 20, Oklahoma State 14. And a split today for the United States in Davis Cup play in South Africa. Australian Open champ Andre Agassi outlasted Wayne Black in 3 sets. Black's brother then defeated Chris Woodruff. Captain John McEnroe criticized an official after the Woodruff match. They'll play doubles tomorrow. And in gymnastics, Iowa State beats Minnesota, the women, tonight.
That's right. Thank you very much, Heidi.
Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, Kevin will be inside all day tomorrow watching Pebble Beach, but we still want to know what the forecast is like, John.
Okay, clouds should be breaking up toward the morning hour. Temperatures tomorrow pushing 40 degrees.
Just put that on tape, and when it gets cold, then you can...
Ah, good idea.
Not a bad idea. Hey, it's not a bad idea to have a great weekend for all of you. Hope you do. We will see you again on Monday.
Interact with News Channel 8 on the World Wide Web at kcci.com. Internet services provided by DWX.